I have an acting role in the black metal movie Lords of Chaos. Have a look at this.
We're closed.
Hello, I'm trying to reach the guitarist from Mayhem.
Who's this?
My name's Jason Arnopp. I'm calling from Kerrang magazine in London.
Kerrang magazine.
So, let me tell you how that came about and why I hated my cameo. Hello there, you stone golem. I'm Jason Arnopp, the author of The Last Days of Jack Sparks, Ghoster, and some Doctor Who stuff. Welcome to another edition of Jason Arnopp's terrifying house of obsession, in which I get to quack about all kinds of retro-flavoured stuff like Doctor Who, old school horror, VHS, and retro video games. Hit subscribe to come along for the ride, why don't you? So, Lords of Chaos, Jonas Akerlund's black metal biopic, is out on Blu-ray in the UK. There it is, look, floating around. Have a look at that, lovely. And among the many special features on this Blu-ray is a featurette called Dark Past, which has me in it, being interviewed. This hasn't happened before, this is new. But then a lot of things to do with Lords of Chaos have been new, such as me playing myself in a movie. That's definitely new.
We're not afraid of a dead body.
So back in the deep dark mists of time, before I became an author and scriptwriter and all that kind of fiction-y stuff, I was a rock journalist. I started writing for Kerrang magazine when I was 16, which was obviously only a few years ago, but let's not get too bogged down in logistics. And during those 14 years of my life working for Kerrang, in the mid-90s, I wrote a cover story about this new phenomenon known then as the Satanic Terrorists, a movement which seemed to involve several black metal bands and involved suicide, church burning, and then after the article came out, murder. The whole thing just went insane, and it's a really sad, tragic story. A couple of lovely guys from Arrow Video came down to Brighton to interview me in this very room. Back there I was, and you can see me there. See, that's me talking about 3 months ago. So here I am in the Dark Past featurette on this Blu-ray, talking about how I received a very unexpected email. I got contacted, I think, by maybe Vice, one of the co-producers of the movie, who kind of passed on this request from Jonas that I should... They passed on this request from Jonas asking me to be in the movie as me. And this definitely took me by surprise. I hadn't expected that. And to this day, I don't think I fully understand why Jonas would want someone with no acting experience to play me, you know, rather than just getting someone, an actor, you know, getting an actual actor to do it. That doesn't really, but I think actually I guess it kind of points to his determination to make everything about the movie as authentic as possible. Thanks for that, Dark Past Jason. And now back to me. Even though I knew that Jonas Akerlund was a great person for the job of making Lords of Chaos, I was still a bit of a diva and asked to see the script, because it's just frankly such a sensitive topic that I just felt I had to know exactly what I was getting into before I said yes or no. When I read the script, it was clear that Jonas had really tried to, and I think had succeeded in portraying these people as human beings. You know, these people were teenagers at the time. Clearly I did then eventually say yes, and so I found myself on a plane to Budapest to be in Lords of Chaos. Now, I got there maybe about 2 days before I actually had to be on set to do my thing, and I had this horrible realization that was a bit like, you know, when you get those dreams about being back at school and you're about to do an exam but you haven't done any revision. I felt exactly like that for real, because it only dawned on me then that I would have to actually memorize the lines that I had in the script. Yeah, I know that sounds really stupid, doesn't it? But that's because I am often, mostly, really stupid. So I started practicing in my hotel room, just terrified. Here's a clip from that. Hello, I'm trying to get hold of the guitarist from Mayhem. My name's Jason Arnopp. I'm calling from Kerrang magazine in London. Who? No, I'm trying to reach Euronymous, the creator of true Norwegian black metal. Oh yeah, incredible work, I'm sure you'll agree. It was, however, arguably one of the greatest method acting roles ever in the history of humanity, because I had spent decades preparing for this role. I had spent decades enduring the pain of being me in order to deliver the full Jason Arnoppness of this character, the Arnopposity, if you will. So here I am, back in that dark past documentary, talking about what it was like on set. So I got to Budapest and found myself in this recreated set of the Kerrang office from 1993, which was quite surreal. It was probably like the closest you could come to time travel without actually building some kind of unlikely machine. And I actually took some of the stuff I had from my Kerrang desk in 1993, so there's like authentic bits and pieces on my desk as I'm interviewing Euronymous on the phone. It was an odd experience. So I had a great time in Budapest, and it was wonderful to meet Jonas, who's a really lovely and very sincere guy. And then I went back to England and just tried to forget about the whole thing for a while. And I think just under 2 years later it was, Jonas sent me a link so I could watch the movie online. And that produced mixed feelings, because I was dying to see the film itself, but definitely not dying to see my bit. When I sat here in this very seat and watched it on this monitor here that you can't see, I loved the film, but really didn't like my bit. It seemed to stick out like a sore thumb to me, because, you know, newsflash, I'm not an actor, and that's how I felt, and it felt horrible. Yeah, it didn't feel good, and so, you know, I hated it at that point. But, and I bet you knew there was a but coming, maybe about a month or two after I saw that online screener, I then went to a London screening of Lords of Chaos. It was the premiere hosted by Arrow, and so I bought a big bucket of popcorn and sat there and watched the film, but really dreading my bit coming up, because I really felt like people were just going to laugh as soon as I spoke. I'd had a few people popping up on Twitter to say, "Oh, I loved your cameo. Oh, what a cameo, eh?" I mean, I felt they meant it in a kind of, Jesus Christ, what are you doing in that film kind of way. And maybe they were, I don't know. But what was wonderful and such a relief in that cinema that night is that when my bit came up and I rang up Euronymous, played by Rory Culkin, in his shop, as soon as I said my first line, the place didn't erupt in this gale of mocking laughter that I really felt was going to happen. It was like I was actually accepted as, not a ridiculous actor. I didn't expect anything more than that. That's all I wanted, just like the bare minimum. The whole thing I was scared about was breaking the whole sort of mood and believability of the film by being rubbish. Yeah, it was about not messing up the film. And happily, it doesn't seem that I did. So that's a big relief. Basically, the only reason why I hated my cameo for a period of like 1 or 2 months was just a crisis of confidence, and it turned out all right in the end. So there's probably a lesson there. Try not to have a crisis of confidence and believe that everything will turn out well in the end. See? Easy. I'm going to put a link down there so you can buy Lords of Chaos on Blu-ray if you haven't already, and you'll get not only the film itself, which is tremendous and very nasty indeed, obviously, but you get lots of featurettes. There's a lot of special features on this film, not just my 15-minute featurette, Dark Past, but also interviews with Sam Coleman, who plays Metallion in this film and was in Game of Thrones as young Hodor. And then there's also an interview with Dan Martin, the fantastic special effects guy. Dan and I had a great time in Budapest. We went out for a meal and had some fantastic smoked cheese. See, there's a bit of trivia for you. And then there's an interview called Blood, Fire, Death, a Bathory reference there, with Jonas Akerlund. There's other bits and pieces too, so what are you waiting for? For goodness sake, get down there and order it. I want to hear from you in comments too. Have you seen Lords of Chaos? If so, what do you think of it? Good, bad, indifferent? I want your opinions down there in comments. And also, if you picked up the Blu-ray, what do you make of that? What do you think of the special features? Eh? What do you think of the special features? Huh? You got a favourite? In case you're a fellow metal fan, by the way, and you're wondering what band t-shirt I'm wearing under my shirt in Lords of Chaos, it's this one, Exuma, who are one of the finest thrash metal bands in the world, and certainly one of the very finest German thrash metal bands, and I would recommend that you check out their new album Hostile Defiance right now if you're a thrash fan. In fact, you can find the title track and also the track Raptor here on YouTube. So search away, obviously when you got to the very end of this video and not before. Oh, now lastly, just a quick note on scheduling. Regular viewers of this channel will know that I upload a video every Sunday. However, this may not be possible for a while because I've got severe technical issues. My old PC lags like nobody's business and slows the whole thing down, and I don't have so much time to write. And writing, I am actually a writer. I know, shocking, not an actor or a YouTube person. Well, I am a YouTube person. But the point is, I need to save up for a new PC, so it could be a while before I'm able to deliver videos dependably every Sunday, but let's see how it goes. If you'd like to help along the process of getting me a new PC and you inexplicably have disposable cash to throw at me, then I'll put a PayPal link down there so you can chuck me a quid or something. That'd be much appreciated. Thank you. Right, that's it. That was fun. I'll see you next time, whenever that happens to be. And until then, embrace your obsessions.